So I think it might be time to revisit the XW. Um, this is a car I did a full restoration on. It would have been 2.5 years ago I think I finished. It's a 351 Windsor, and I restored it with a few XY bits and pieces in memory of my father, who passed away 30 something years ago, 33 years ago or something. And so it's got a couple of XY influences on it. Now, this was a full restoration. Absolutely everything off it, every nut and bolt. And of course I did the whole thing myself, including all the paint. I got some help from a friend, Jason Hill, who helped me with some of the trimming, fitting the covers mainly, and he rebuilt the front seats and also assisted with the headlining. Now, I'm ashamed to say I've only done 600 miles in it from the time I finished it. But there are one or two things I'm not very happy with. I'm not happy with the fact it's dirty, and I never bothered cleaning off the blue stuff. But it does look a bit bland, and I'm thinking it needs a stripe. Now, everyone that seems to, a lot of people I should say, that restore these cars will restore them to look like a GT Falcon. I did this for me. I didn't want it to look like anything else. I did it in a Mustang colour, Wimbledon white, used XY or ZCD Fairlane badges for the engine designation, and used XY Fairmont hubcaps and an XY Fairmont interior. It does look bland, and I've struggled with this because I don't want a GS stripe, I don't want a GT stripe, and I don't want a modern pinstripe. I don't think that back door's closed properly. So I've been really wanting to do something with it in terms of the sides, but not knowing what. Now, I've come across one idea, which is an XT GT stripe, because they're a bit narrower than XW and XY ones, and they don't say GT on them, and there's no Subarus on them. So I've decided to go with an orange XT GT stripe. Now, it's not a GT, but it doesn't say GT, so we're good. It's more like a Fairmont, even though it's a Falcon, and I've left the Falcon badges on as well. So other things we want to do, the ride height's all wrong. At the back it's a little bit too high, at the front it's a little bit too low, so I've got to even that out. That can be another video for another day. I have a new Edelbrock Performer manifold, and I need to put a Holly 600 carburetor on it. It's still running its 2-barrel, and it does suffer from a bit of fuel starvation when it's hot. When it's cold and medium in temperature, it's really towy. It's really sort of urging forward all the time. But when it's hot, it appears sluggish. The distributor I never had regraphed for the Lunatic camshaft. That needs to be done. And it's also got an annoying squeak in the front, which will be the cheap-ass spring saddles that I used. I used much better ones in the XC, which of course have a bearing in them. They tend to swivel a lot better than these stupid things. So eventually what we're going to do is take the front springs and the spring saddles out and renew them. And at that time I shall fit it out with power steering. It doesn't have power steering. It's not too bad, but the steering's rubbish. I don't like that either. And that's about it. Once we've done those things, I've got to repaint the boot too. I did a rubbish repair on the boot lid, and I'm going to repaint that. So I think for now we need to clean it a bit. And I stopped spending money when I got to something like 27 on this thing. Because that's why the stainless was never done. I think the first thing we need to do though is we need to take off the front indicators and give the panels a good wipe with some prep wash. These front guards I'm not happy with at all. I didn't like them. One's XY, one's XW, and I had a heck of a lot of trouble trying to get them straight, and even then they're not that straight. They're straight-ish. Well, they're straight to look at, but when you really look at them, they're not as good as I wanted. So I think we'll pop some lights out and start cleaning things up in preparation for a stripe. Out the front and rear indicator, or rear taillight assembly, I've stuck a stripe on this side. It shows off the bad shut lines. So, but I think it really matches the Wimbledon white. I don't know, drop a comment, see what you reckon. I think we have to change those wheels out though. I think the GS Rally Pack wheels look good. But see what you reckon. I just think it needed to break up all that white. If you look there, it actually looks quite finished. I've got to put the the chrome tops on, and I've got these chrome bits here, but it makes it awfully close sort of in that area there. I had such a lot of trouble lining these doors up. Started with a tape line, and I'm a bit out on the front with this stuff. I tried a string line, that was no good. So I'm sort of just mucking around trying to get it straight. It's just hard because the string line, Jason said you use a string line then put your pinstriping tape down, but it just didn't quite look right. So I think that's about right there. I think that's right. And I'll just get a razor blade and cut in the gaps. Where's my cloth? The disconcerting thing is the shut lines on this thing aren't very good. So I'm just going to cut in between here just so I can open the doors. And I've cleaned it twice with Prepsol. But that'll give us a start point to get the stripe right, and then of course we have to have tea first. And these stripes are really generous in their length, and we need to trap it under there. That's a bit high, I think. But I just had awful trouble trying to get it straight. Trying to peel it back on itself here. Just work out the what do you call it, bubbles. I don't think they're any anyway. I got it pretty good. These are beautiful stripes. It's from an eBay guy, and he sends out the most comprehensive set of instructions and paperwork for them. They're an Avery stripe, and this is XTGT, and there's all sorts of different colours. You can get reflective ones. This is a plain non-reflective orange stripe. $100 landed on the door, and you even get a full length of spare stripe in case you mess one up, which I reckon I messed up a bit, but let's face it, I'm a mechanic, not a pinstriper. The best thing to do is to get it painted on, but there's no one local to do that, and I wanted a cheap solution, so I've gone this way. But they lay out beautifully, and it even says in the instructions they're incredibly easy to fit. The hard bit is getting it straight, but I think that really suits the Wimbledon white. It needed that. It's just too plain without it, and I didn't want to put the stick-on body side mouldings. They're common for XCs, that sort of thing, and they look like a Kmart accessory on these. But I'll just open that door gap. Door. And we leave about an inch or so on the inside of the guard. And we can just lay out the other one now. They're really, really good to do. So I'm just going to stop for a moment and have more tea. Oh yeah. So let's go for each stripe's labelled passenger side front door. There's not much difference in the length of the things. They're all pretty much the same, but it's the same sort of stuff. It's just laying it out. And this isn't to everyone's taste. A lot of XWXY people are very GT conscious, and this isn't correct and that's not correct, but I really don't care because this is my spec. The only thing I didn't do to this that I intended to begin with was to put a granny sort of sun visor thing above the windshield. Just one of those things. I still might do it. I wanted grandpa spec. That's what this car had to be. I guess the stripe sort of made it more, it's like a muscle car stripe, but it isn't a muscle car. It's just a sedan sort of, beat around, nice daily drive. Where's mine? I can't find anything here. Have a nice peer along there again. Oh, straight as an arrow. You can pay a guy to do this. It's normally about 220 or 240 bucks to get done. That's what they charge to sort of supply and fit them, I think. I'm going to spend more time with this X-dub. Just wrap them around from the other side. It looks like a Scooby-Doo car with the blue there as well. The blue doesn't look bad actually. Maybe I should have just left it on. This is a pain in the ass to get to this bit. There we go. Oh, that was beautiful. I love that. Right, let's have another look. I like that. That Windsor is so beautiful, isn't it? There's not a single tap or anything. Have a listen. Flashlight clean. Oh, the rear stat. There he is. Hang on. There it is. Sort of around 562 miles. That's probably 600. A bit over 600 miles. Pure stereo. I didn't clean the bumpers too well. That's one of my favourite cars. I'm just not sure how to clean the white walls. They're gone brown. Anyway, at some point I'll take those springs out and the spring saddles, replace those, put power steering on it, and I'm going to repaint that boot lid. I'm not happy with that. And then I reckon it's nigh on perfect. I love it. So I just thought I'd show you this. It's been a few years since I've done any work on the XW, and it's only stripes, but I think that makes a heck of a difference. It breaks up all that white. Just gives it a nicer look, I reckon. Might have to change the wheels, but that can be later. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed. Take it easy. I'll see you later.